Hello and welcome to this video where I want to introduce you to, I will call it game-changing way of thinking about fear of failure and giving you a new understanding of what it actually is, because that it will really help you. And fear of failure is a huge topic in football when it comes to performance. So fear of failure, fear of making mistakes, and there's also a topic that comes up a lot in the conversations that I have with football players. So I'm gonna share with you my understanding of fear of failure and how it works, and why most people have a misunderstanding of what the misunderstanding they have is about fear of failure. So the kind of traditional way of thinking about fear of failure is, well, I'm afraid, I worry about a certain situation, because if that happens, I'm afraid of it happening. So in the way that we use language, it reveals that it's the situation that we're afraid of, and that is how what it looks like for most people. Well, it's the situation. If X, Y, and Z happens, then I will feel worry, fear, frustration, etc. But the way the human beings work is we don't feel situations, circumstances, we don't feel uh, events. We feel our own thinking, right? So that's why when you think about a certain situation, and you feel, oh, you feel a little fearful, you feel worry, or you worry and you feel a little fearful, you already feel the experience, right? It has doesn't really have anything to do with the situation. You probably experienced worry about a certain situation occurring, happening. It happens, and it was like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, right? We think it. Or you experience a certain situation and it was way worse than you thought it would be. And that happens because it's not the situation that we experience, that we feel, it's our own thinking. We think something and we feel it. Like if you have a scary dream, you are scared because of the scary dream. If you have a nice dream, you feel kind of happy, light, because you have a nice dream. Dreams are just thoughts when we sleep. So to this new way and powerful way of thinking about it, that will, if you really see it, it will be immensely helpful. So it looks like we're afraid of the situation. So we are moving towards the situation that we are afraid of happening. It's a misunderstanding. As I mentioned, we already feel it. So we are already in the experience of fear. We're in the experience of the feeling. We're not moving towards it. We are we are living, creating from it. You're playing from it, you're performing from it, you're living your life from that feeling. It's not something you're going towards, it's something you're creating inside of you, and you live from that place. Right? So imagine this. If you're angry with your partner, you have the feeling of anger, right? What is likely to happen if you're angry with your partner and you start communicating? You'll probably yell, you will discuss, you will have a heated argument. You will blame him or her for certain things. if you if you feel love and you communicate with your partner, it will be a totally different experience because of the feeling you're coming from. So what you're creating in the communication depends on the feeling that you're in, right? It's the same with performance and fear of failure. If you're performing from the fear of X, Y, and Z happening, you're likely to create X, Y, and Z because you're creating from that feeling, and that is where your focus is on. This X, Y, and Z not happening. If you're focused on not shooting over the goal, you're likely to shoot over the goal because that is where your focus is on. Right? It's really, I'm looking at the time. So it's really powerful understanding, knowing that you're not moving towards something, you're creating it. You're not moving towards a feeling, you are living from the feeling, you're playing from the feeling and creating from the feeling. All the same things, but different ways of saying it. Living, creating. As I said, when you have a nice feeling, when you're relaxed, when you're present, it's a different way of performing on the pitch versus when you're living from a place of worry, fear, anxiousness. That's a different way of performing. So it's all happening in the moment. You're not fearful of what if this happened or that happens. You're just fearful in the moment. You're afraid in the moment. So I hope this was helpful, and I understand this can be difficult to quite grasp and comprehend. So please, if you want to have a conversation about this, reach out to me, and I'm happy to set aside some time. And yeah, have a lovely day. Bye.